children were harmed in the filming of that video. Welcome everybody to tonight's Plumes of Hazard. I am Mass9. These are my co-hosts. He tried to host, but he was on Wi-Fi. We leave it all up to the Angstful Vapor.
Nobody can see me yet. You're still presented.
And the one holding the button and the lever behind the curtain, Fubaka, who's muted. Double slancha farts.
I know I'm muted, unlike some people.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Oh.
Welcome.
I think I would request.
And
oh my God, it's someone need to shut up.
My kids are playing.
Somebody going to get hurt real bad.
They are hacking my interwebs. Are you back?
I don't know, am I?
Oh no. Oh shit, get a screenshot of that. Oh my god, get the screenshot. Come on. Yes, got it. Got that face, son. All right, let's save that. And let's see. This is where he stopped for me. Let's see. There we go. Hey, what's up, Doc? Wait for him to come back in.
Did I? Wait, I need to go swap my. Drag the hangout to this monitor for a moment.
What's going on? Hello? What is internet? I don't think he's coming back. So welcome everybody. Welcome to the Plumes of Hazard. The Plumes of are you both dead? He's asking us. He's still apparently, I don't know, can chat? You guys still see us?
Masty.
Oh,
he was this close. He was this close to getting back in. This close. His camera froze on that last week or the week before.
Oh my God, they want us in chat to draw him up. All right, let's see. Well, we will make him a Frenchman tonight because his internet is not working. He's already got the little black hat, and let's see, we can give him a little.
Well, Angsty, no, we're not dead, but you might be dead to us.
A little s'il vous plaît, boo fouet right here, right there. I don't even know. That's supposed to be a feather. There you go. And let's see.
Yo, I literally this happens right after asking for it live if he's ever hardwired before for this shit.
Wait, how's the French flag go? It's got like pink, and pink, right? Pink, and pink. There we go. Oh, he's back. My bad. Ooh, welcome. Welcome back. Monsieur, s'il vous plaît. They were asking for it in chat. We were making sure you were still alive.
Well, that's the thing is I could see chat. I went to go hardline and I can see chat scrolling fine, and I joined in here, and you were both away. I thought you were fucking with me.
No, you were hardlined, all right.
That actually would have been a superior troll.
Ahmed's picture was worse though. So
yeah, they've got fiber.
that wasn't even from this show. That was from a show or two ago when he lagged out.
They got fiber in Texas. Yeah, that's literally right across the street.
Yeah, and that's one I don't think I haven't even shown Angsty yet.
Honestly, Anksy, would it be fair to say that probably one of the biggest pipes in the U.S. is going pretty close to your house?
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn off video. How about that?
Oh, all right, fine.
This is not Modesty Mondays with Angsty.
I don't know why they treat me this way. What did I do? Oh, my drawing doesn't.
Is it because I own too many Uber Toot?
Is it because I went Uber Tutte? Man, this is a good one. I need to keep this one. Screenshot. Hang on. Snip.
Yeah, you should post this in the Chris Munn group.
Jeez. Boy.
No, I'm just thinking of this that way things don't die on me.
That they don't die. Okay.
Yeah, if you're hardwired now, you should be high.
Yeah,
but
you sound all right.
Hardwired, and it fucking wouldn't connect. Hangouts wouldn't go. I connected, but you two were away, and I don't think I was actually on.
Did you check your TCP/IP settings?
I have checked my TCP/IP.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Slideshow mode for more ad revenue. Yeah, boy.
IP config / status, all that shit.
It's definitely the INI settings.
Probably.
Anyway,
so hi. This is the most professional show in vaping, in case you hadn't remembered.
Turn your video back on.
I don't want to die.
How is the IT guy the one having connection problems?
Yeah.
You tell me that.
I know, right?
We'll see. I'll try.
You tell me about CloudMaker, okay?
You tell me if I lag out again. How about that?
Yeah, you look
we will. We will make sure you know.
Mind you, Angsty, this is like not long after I asked you if you ever tried going hardwire before. I did ask you this not too long ago.
You did. I totally forgot I swapped over to Wi-Fi.
But I put a spell on you.
Works fine all day long until this fucking show. Whatever.
The information can't get out there. They're trying.
Hey, maybe that means Google's going to have a hard time tracking me and my thoughts. Maybe. We'll see.
No.
No.
They got your cell phone to do that.
They got that done. No problem.
They know where you is.
They'll just tap into your webcam and be like, "What's up? You got some VG? Yo, dog, you got some VG on your monitor."
You should take care of that. That's gross.
That is cool.
That's really gross, Rob. Thank you for sharing, though.
Yeah, he's one for word, that one.
Oh boy. So been another long week for me. I anticipate tomorrow to be possibly less bad than the last 2 Tuesdays at work. So hopefully the code that I deployed tonight will work better.
Well, you know what they say. He who enjoyed it deployed it.
How much did he enjoy it to deploy it?
Oh man,
It's up to him.
Master, you can empathize with this. Our production environment is just not performing like our non-prod. So stuff that I, test the shit out of a non-prod, you put it out in prod, it just fucking just.
When your product testers, okay, sit in a round table and have some ice cream and they fucking love it, and then you release that shit and everyone is fucking dumping it down the drain, that I feel your pain.
You've been there.
Absolutely. And it's that, we just spent this many millions of dollars on this and now it's turning into fucking toilet bowl fodder. Okay.
I mean, this is like you guys releasing, your new product, your new flavor to your testing people. They on there, they're pounding, no problem, eating it like crazy, and then they get home and a retail customer gets it and gets the carton and appreciates the good art, and then opens the top and it fucking explodes. Like, not even that it just literally blows up.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Surprise, motherfucker!
Yeah, right.
It says that as you're opening it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although that would be a pretty good product by itself, actually.
I would buy that.
Yeah.
I mean, they even have you've seen the little locks that they have for the ice cream pods now.
Yeah.
You crack it open. Surprise, mother! You know, that would be perfect for the people who eat at like 2 a.m. They get up and they sneak into the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that to your wife.
Like,
you do that to your wife. You're never getting late again. Surprise, motherfucker! Mm-hmm. That should be the name of the ice cream. Surprise, motherfucker.
There you go. Whoa, Thomas just said he quit a 20-year job last week. Damn.
Holy shit. With a 2-week notice. Nice.
I have to ask Thomas, were you getting paid in rubles?
Wow. Congratulations, man. You know, it's kind of sad though that in some areas the only way to get a pay bump is to quit your job and go work somewhere else.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, I'm kind of in a similar situation myself. I'm on the Jerry Maguire show. I'm like, show me the money.
Yeah. That's cool. That's a big that's borderline people losing their shit working for somewhere that long. So
yeah.
Same company from 17 to 37. Wow. They got you in there good.
Wow. Crammed in that hole. He must have been frustrated with it at some point.
We don't live in a time where people are, working 20 years with the same company anymore. That's just,
dude.
Companies just don't operate like that anymore, man.
Dude, no, the young people do not stay around. Like, they do not. Like, we'll have people, like, the turnover is insane nowadays. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's not meeting, employees' expectations or what, but it's not uncommon to see some resumes come in with, people at a company for like 2 years, 3 years, and that's a big issue. That's a big issue for companies because you spend a lot of money on new staff.
Yeah, you do.
But sometimes the job security may not be there or the room for growth.
Yeah, but some jobs are you take the fucking ice cream from the truck and you put it in the freezer.
Yeah, those guys are in a fucking union.
From the truck to the freezer.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you get a 2-ton cart unloaded in 20 minutes without spilling anything, some people, and then all of a sudden the new guy starts and it's just fucking melted ice cream everywhere. So I don't know. It's and I think some of the younger ones now, it's like they get it done in 19.54, 19 minutes and 54 seconds. And they want, the biggest trophy that they can have. Bitches, you doing this to get paid. Anyways, no participation trophies here.
So I'm trying to get that bread.
None. What? Did you say you're trying to get that rib? The Mac rib? The Mac rib?
Bread. That's Skrilla.
I think they're turning some of the people on the caravan into McRibs.
It's a good thing I don't eat the McRib. I should have discussed.
It's a pretty bad idea. I had one when they re-released it a couple of years ago, just because I hadn't had them in decades. Yeah, I went and had one, and it was not that great.
It did make for a great Simpsons episode.
Listen, do you know what the McRib is? The McRib is the same fucking shit you used to eat in high school that the lunch people would give you that looked like a McRib. It's the same thing. It comes from the same.
School food is better quality.
It's like just chopped pork ground and bones.
What? Oh my god! Somebody times it because that was the best Skrillex ever. You were like, take our jibs and BKG.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad Angst was up because my eyes went from here like this to here because my brother walks like an elephant, and so he was going to enter the door, so that scared the shit out of me. Shit. I was like,
what I was saying was the the McRib is just a bunch of chopped pork and meat, binder, just stirred up and molded into rib shapes. Just gross.
Rob Wiggles said, "I've bounced around the same 3 shops for 9 years and get more money every time." There you go, buddy. That's the way to do it.
And it's always a bummer, of course, right? When you get the new guy coming in, he's making 90% of what the guy that's been there for 5 years.
Right. Yeah. Well, in some industries are like that, but I think what's important too is, a lot of people will hop from one to another. B&J's is really good because you can, if you don't burn a bridge and it doesn't work out at your next, place you go to work, you're always welcome to come back. And it's not like you get dinged. You can come back and be right where you were at, and not lose seniority and all that other stuff. But a lot of people don't, dude, health insurance is a big deal. Sure. Like they pay your health insurance. And it's kind of one of those, with you have 1 kid, okay, you're paying for that. You have 2. Well, after 2 or another dependent, it doesn't matter whether you have 3 or 6, it's the same amount.
Yeah, it's all the same.
So, but that's a huge deal, and pay for schooling and all that other stuff. So, whew, but yeah, boy.
Yeah, so I've been testing another habit.
Yeah. Did you get a hit? Did you get a dry hit?
No. I've been taking a few drags on it, and then just went back to the one I've been vaping for the last 3 or 4 days. And man, it is covered in charcoal. Like, it is really gross. I'm cleaning
Yummy.
it right now.
Hey, so I've been almost two weeks on this thing and still pretty good. And I wish I could take the top part off to look at the coil.
Yeah.
Like, it's freaking in there, but it still looks clean to me. Just keep vaping it.
I wish I had one.
Till I get a change. I do when I went to refill it, and I cracked the lid. It was like bubble.
Oh, is that right? Had a little vacuum going on?
Yeah, I forgot to be opening it up.
Yeah.
I just throw it in my pocket. And the one thing though is, man, when this thing falls over, it makes a fucking racket. Like on my desk, it's like wow.
Yeah.
It's so fucking loud.
I did that a few times, and then I just ended up putting it on its side.
On its side, yep. I mean, I just stand it up like this, and all of a sudden you go wham.
Yeah.
So
it's hefty. It's got a little gravity in it,
Yeah. But it's weird. I mean, because the lightest part you would think is at the top, and the battery and stuff is at the bottom. But
it's got that big metal chunk for the fill port on the top, and
yeah, that's true. But yeah, dude, the pocketability of this thing is great. Yeah. So
it's fantastic. It's a good addy. I do have an update that I saw. And now I'm wondering how I'm going to fucking share it because I can't get on the videos without lagging.
Well, if you need to send me the pictures, just let me know.
Oh, I suppose I could do that. Well, I'll give it a whack, and if I lag out and it goes crazy, then
yeah,
fine.
So speaking of, what you vaping on there, Angsty?
Oh, well, I suppose I could do that too. I forgot we haven't done that yet. So I'm in the process of re-wicking. I got my Limelight Bliss with the RAM board inside. On top of there's a Haku Vena that needs that's the one that I was just smelling barbecue because I was cooking off my coils. It's been really gross. But I also have another setup this week. I've got my Gloom back out also from Limelight, also with a RAM board in there. But on top of there's a new Addy. We'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, there's Railcracker in both of them. And and because Festy's here and he must not have seen it a couple weeks ago, this is the drop kit, the Sky Drop thing that I bought a little while back. He and I were talking about that. I'm not currently vaping on that, but it is here and available. How about you, Fu?
That was refreshing. I'm gonna take another sip of this water. Sometimes water just tastes better.
Yeah.
Right now is one of those times. Maybe because I just had a mint.
When you're thirsty.
No, I just had a mint, like an Altoid. And I don't know. Just water just tastes so nice.
So fresh and so clean.
Anyway, I got a Mass T. An Arca. Yeah. And that's that. Nasty. You vape today, you vaping. What you doing?
I'm using the Orion with the point. I haven't switched over to the other pod yet because I want to see how long this one lasts with the 0.50.
Always Orion.
Why you always Ryan? And I have still in here some Stashes PB&J. Delicious. That's all I got.
Word. I can let me pull up this first thing because it's related to what Master was just talking about.
Ruh-roh.
See,
what is?
See if I can show you something.
All right.
Yeah, how's that?
Yeah.
So this guy posted STFD Gaming posted a PSA warning about anybody thinking about purchasing a Lost Fate Orion DNA Go device. He's suggesting that nearly half of the devices are flawed. Stop working within the first week of purchase. So we talked about this last week, and the reason I bring it up now is because of that, and that just seems to be wrong because Valve's been real clear about their numbers, and then we had somebody down here in the comments, Undercover Texan. I actually didn't even look at his name earlier. I was just reading through the comments, and he's like, we've sold hundreds of these, and we've had 5 issues. 2 of them were duds out of the box. The other 3 were sold to customers that are notorious for breaking devices. And they're, they were handled by Evolve, basically, is the short version of that. And somebody down here tried to give him a little crap here. I applaud you taking care of your problematic customers. However, my word of advice for somebody that is portrayed as a retailer, never take the position that diminishes experiences and berates customers in the face of any product. It makes you look, especially filling it with your own confirmation bias, it makes your outfit look unprofessional. See, I think this is a load of horseshit. And the reason I think that is because his confirmation bias is backed by his store's performance. Like, he's got numbers on it, and that's what his experience is. And if this guy thinks that he's diminishing products, he's not diminishing anybody else's experience. He's saying what he has seen at his store, and he's not berating any customers. What he's saying is he sold it to 3 people that are.
You're comparing Evolve to a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah. Well, he's suggesting that. I think the problem that this guy is taking with it is the fact that he's berating customers and diminishing their experience. He's not. And if you think that there aren't people and brick and mortars or online stores that don't know who their customers are, that are hard as shit on devices, that's ridiculous.
And people in chat are saying, Evolve has a stat sheet somewhere with total mods made and total failures. Yes, they do. We talked about it last week.
Yeah,
we showed it last week. And here's the problem. I mean, do we need to have Orions now come in with a big orange sheet in it that says "Do not return to where you bought it"? I mean, like that's normal. And Evolve is always taking care of it. And they've already come out ahead and said, "Hey, look, if this happens to you, then go ahead." But coming out with a false number from Evolve, that's stupid. Yeah. I mean, look, I was one of the first ones to give Evolve so much shit about the fucking screen problems, and about, some of the issues that they had. But man, they were shipping out a shit ton of fucking boards. Yeah. When people were taking these boards, and we talked about this last week, and putting them in other devices that needed daughter boards. And I mean, you name it. And then even with the bigger boards with like the 250 style and stuff, the soldering pads, those fuckers are tiny, and you had this big ass gauge wire down at the bottom of the mod, and if people weren't careful while they were building their mods, this thing was gonna arc against the body. You can just imagine. So you got to give them a chance to be able to fix it, and they're already out in front of it. So
Indianapolis Tim in chat actually made a good point. I think that's what your name's abbreviating. I want to say Tim because no one else seems to be able to figure it out. But he said having a US-based company to stand behind the product makes all the difference. Absolutely, like they don't have a terrible turnaround on like mod repairs and shit, right?
Yeah.
You know, like them and Craving. Like, what other two mod manufacturers could have US-based support?
Yeah, and also I see people talking in chat about the juices, and Duro was asking about sweetener and stuff like that. Yeah, they don't add any sweetener to any of the juices.
Yeah, not any additional sweetener anyway.
Any additional, correct? Yeah, and the folks that are, I don't even know how far we can go with this, but you know what's coming in the future, which you know we're transitioning right now. It's gonna be even better. So that's all we can say.
Yep, and you can go ahead and thank the old FDA for a vast majority of these problems that we've had so far.
Yeah, we basically didn't pick it, but we were
given the opportunity.
We were given the opportunity to have to switch. We were given the opportunity to have to switch our manufacturer. And, you know, a big fuck you of that is to the FDA. So, hey, a lot of people bowed out. We didn't, and we're not. So you will continue to get our juice. It is a little bit of a growing pain, and trust us, if you're watching this, if you're in chat, and if you know other people who are trying to find the juice, we are doing everything in our power to make sure that we get this out and rolling as soon as possible, because we can't even get our own juice. So it's coming, but hang in there.
I did pull up the Evolve page, by the way, with the stats, and I don't remember exactly what they were last week, but this is what they are this week. I feel like this is a little higher than what it was before, but at the same time, this is also higher, right? So it's, you know,
we can
continues to grow, and this continues. This, in theory, would continue to go down, right? As these go up with devices that don't have this hardware flaw in them. You know, you'll see this increase, but this decrease, right? You'll see the number probably go up a bit, but this will probably go down a bit since this is going up so high, so fast. That's
okay, so the numbers last week were, let's see. It looks like looking. Okay, so the numbers last week were okay, so devices produced was 82952. Pull yours back up, Anksy.
It's 96903 or 96309 now.
Yep. Early production issues was 226.
331 now.
Yep. So it was 0.72%.
0.344% now.
And other failures were at 5.
9 now.
And it was 0.006% before.
0.009.
So in a week, you've had 0.08 of a percent change.
Yeah.
So you went from 226 to 331. So give or take about 100.
Right. And
increase.
You know, I mean that's.
But the devices went from 82952 to 96309.
Right.
So that's a pretty big increase.
Yeah, it is, and I imagine that's why it'll continue to be different. So that's good. I think the short version is, in my opinion, if I knew a company was going to fix it, then I wouldn't worry about it so much, because it may not happen anyway, and if it does, you know somebody's going to stand behind it. And again, we're talking about a device that's under $100, right? Talking about like a $60 device. Not that big of a deal. Now, if that's your whole vape budget for 2 months or something, yeah, I can see that being a problem. But most people, this is a supplementary device.
I just saw our previous YouTube video had a question so about the juice, so I just replied to it.
Oh, thanks. I had missed that one.
Yep.
Good. Let's see. So this kind of goes in with what I was just talking about just a minute ago. The other thing I got to talk about is this, and this is something that personally I found once I've kind of zeroed in on how I'd like to vape a couple of years ago. This post by Dragon DY. Anyway, he was talking about the more stuff I own, the less happier I am with vaping. And he bought his first setup and he's loving it, and I'm set. And then he started buying all this other shit, and then they're all a disappointment. He's not happy with them, and then just the general disillusionment with gathering gear. And I think that's possible to do. Not even possible. I think that's probable. I found it a lot more freeing once I figured out a way that I like to vape. Just getting rid of all this shit that's next to me over here.
Mm-hmm.
I've kept stuff, but it's not stuff that I use anymore. Most of it's got memories attached, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's not stuff that it is in rotation so much anymore. I've got a bowl full of addies that are good. I've got the bowl of shame, of course, of addies that are shit that I don't even look at. Mm-hmm. And that's fine.
Well, I think too that there has been such a wide swing of size on the addies.
Yeah.
And I know that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that if you're more into the high end scene, your addy size was either getting smaller or it was already a smaller size, right? So, you're more high end into your devices, and I'm talking high end meaning not necessarily China stuff. Okay, meaning $100 and we'll say $300 and more devices, or $250 more. And I think because probably like the biggest tank that I owned was that Tatro T1. I mean, that fucking thing was this tall, solid freaking plexi, glass like that thick. And it was like 4 years ago. That was awesome because it was an auto dripping, rebuildable deck with a tank on the top,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think too that, the different designs, which was, it's a shame that the whole FDA thing had to come down because so much was stifled at that point,
Yeah.
But I think that changes too, not necessarily, with the higher end stuff, but with what you're vaping on.
Yeah. I see post after post the last year or so of people going from direct lung or restricted lung and going down to mouth to lung, and that's all they want to do now is mouth to lung, higher nic, or even the same nic. Just that style of vaping seems to be coming back around. It's once I got off of MTL, and that was right when I got the Toot, I think. Right before I got the when the Nardo was released, and I picked up one of those. But when I got the Toot, that's really what changed it for me, really. Actually, you know what? It may have been the Hurricane before that changed me into restricted lung.
Yeah, I'd say that was your turning point because you were a tutor before that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I think it was the Hurricane that did it.
I just said in chat, I'm like, I hit my roof with gear like a while ago for the most part. I mean, if you've paid attention to what are you vaping on for like the last 6 to 8 months, it's been fairly consistent for me.
Yeah.
But Josh said TVL just released a mod today, and he's pretty sure they didn't have that plan prior to FDA. And you're probably right. I mean, Yee's been just releasing shit. Everyone's been releasing shit. A
lot of companies have to break the rules to stay in business. If you think about it, like a lot of these companies, are, their success is predicated on having new shit out relatively consistently.
Not only that, but they could have. You don't know. They could have done a bunch of SKUs beforehand with some CAD drawings or something that they had that they were thinking of working on,
right?
With parts and pieces that weren't put in it, just to have those parts and pieces there, because as long as you had that, you could have it, saying it as as a SKU. So,
yeah. Duro said the regs are a joke. I'd piss on them too. So I mean, you're not wrong. They are a joke. They are stupid and arcane, and they're not well explained even from their own documents. They're contradictory. They're shitty regs. But the problem is if you own a business here in the States and like that TFV whatever thing that was released, they're in China. Do you think they fucking give a shit? They don't give a shit. They're going to send over 100,000 of those things and be done with it. They're fine.
Yep. Even still, if you're a domestic company, you get the first fine's $250. Like the regs are harsh, but everything is wonky about it. Every which way you look at it. Yeah. You don't get a bill of no sale until your third violation. If they made that the first strike,
yeah,
you bet your ass there would be a lot more companies that would be in line.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't blame the domestic companies that are hesitant to sell a bunch of stuff because if they all of a sudden they decide that your first strike, well, you've already sold 1,000 Addies, that's here's 1,000 strikes, or something like that, right? It was to stop them from doing it because they're stupid. The regs are garbage.
Like if I didn't have a bit, like if we didn't have our own thing, like we didn't have this show and I have my own business, like I don't know, I'd probably be on the more edgy side and be like, fuck you, I'm going to keep putting out new flavors.
Mm.
You want to like I'll keep going until you threaten to shut me down.
Right.
Like literally, like you give me my own fucking personal invitation with my name on it. Fuck yourself. I get all fucking Joe Pesci about it.
Mm-hmm.
Hanks, here, are you going to talk about the poll that Mooch had up for Molly Cell?
No, I didn't
hear about that.
I did hear about it, but I didn't have it on notes. So yeah, go ahead.
So last week, Mooch put up a post saying, "Hey, Molly, One Energy Corp, Molly Cell wants to challenge their engineers next year to make a lithium-ion cell better suited for vaping." He said, "What's one of the most important things you'd like to see done in a new cell? Not the wrapper added by the rewrappers or vendors or what's on it, but what would you want from the bare cell from the factory to have? Commenting below is fine, but make sure to vote." And he put a link to the voting site, which was a Molly Cell site. He says, "We would all probably want several of the things listed on there done, but pick just one, the most important to you. When you have finished, you can see the results of everyone's votes and even come back later to see the results after more have voted. I'll post the results later, just in case you can't easily read the pie chart and legend on a mobile device." So he went ahead and put the link out, and about 2 days ago he put the results up, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that.
Just a smidge if you can.
Let's see, 1 second. I'll do that, but we'll go. I'll go. I'll start from the top. So, they had model number and ratings laser etched onto the metal can. Have better cell-to-cell performance consistency. Create cells with higher continuous discharge. Create cells with higher capacity ratings. Make cells that run at higher voltage under load. Hit harder without giving up capacity. Let's see. We'll look at some of the other ones that were high numbers. Create a reliable and easy way to check authenticity. Create a fully protected high CDR battery, and create a good 18650 cell. So these were posted on the 2nd. Okay, they had to remove over 700 duplicate entries Okay, he says that at the top of his post here. Okay, and his post on Reddit said, you know, there was about 1,500 responses to the recent poll asking what you'd like Molicel to change their engineers to do for the new battery development. Over 700 responses were obvious duplicates entered by dozens of people. There was one group of about 420 that created the, quote, create a good 26650 battery response. Okay. So Mooch says, really? This is how we think the first big manufacturer who is interested in what we want to see in a battery? I completely understand wanting your choice to be at the top one in one poll, but I think the bigger picture is important too. Whether voting twice or 420 times for the same thing, we want Molicel to spend their money on something that results in a battery the community wants and will buy. This will get Molicel to spend even more time and money on more batteries we want. I'm only talking about multiple votes for the same thing. It's perfectly okay to go back and also vote for something different, as not all of us have a single favorite choice from the list. I went through all 1,500 responses manually and removed the obvious duplicates. Yeah, that was fun evening. But I'm sure that I missed some. Hopefully, they are distributed across most of the choices pretty evenly. So, and these are the results here. So most of the votes went to 116 went to make cells that run at higher voltage under load without giving up capacity or current, and create cells with higher capacity ratings. So, you know, that's the shit that it's not funny, but it's typical of, you know, the vaping world. You get this, you know, in some of the forums, and people are going to be like, you know, let's shit on them and vote 420 times for, you know, create a good 26650 battery. So
26 gate.
Yeah, 26650 gate. But there you go. So yeah, I saw the
vote manipulation, you say?
Yeah, I saw the poll, and, you know, it came out. It seems like everything comes out on Tuesdays. We always have all these things, you know, but yeah. So then a few days later, they just closed it because of, you know, the amount of
garbage
that was in there. Yeah. So I'll keep going. I got one more thing that I wanted to show. So user David 4500. We've talked about some of his creations on the show before, and I wanted to show this guy that he created recently. Okay, and this is going to be an OKR T30 pass-through using a Analog Box Mods breakout board and Analog Box Mods P enclosure powered by an Xbox power supply. So
it looks like an A.
Yeah, but you'll see here in a minute. It's pretty neat. So here's the internals of it, and yes, this is plugged in directly into the wall. Here's all the parts and pieces, and you can see the box has a nice little, you know, cutout and everything. Mm-hmm. You got an on-off switch in. Oop, I'm zoomed in on this one. Got an on-off switch in the back there. And let's see, which other one does he have? This one. This is one of the breakout boards.
Oh, Daryl said that David 4500 is the guy that made his DNA box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He makes really, really good mods. He usually will post up. I mean, there's even a video on them, you know, putting everything together. Awesome. So yeah, it's a nice little,
it's an A-box
setup. No, it's not an A-box because it's A style. Yeah. They call it their they call it their Analog Box Mods, you know, -P enclosure. So, yeah, I mean, and, you know, this is something you could build at home. Some people were in the thread were a little worried that it was a plug-in mod. But yeah, it's a cool little We'll let them on. The OKR T30, man, that thing can, you know, can put some clouds.
The thing that's weird is that the P box was that
yeah. They're just saying, you know, -P. But you can use an A box. So because the original video that was made, I will link it here in just a second.
Oh, is that it doesn't? Oh, that doesn't have a removable like DC power.
No, this one is directly plugged in. This one in the video that was posted on OpenPV has a different, but this one was done a lot. You know, you just had the A box and you had to drill through stuff, and which a lot of people don't have. You know, so if you wanted to, build one yourself and you felt competent, you could, do this at home without needing any, drills or CNC milling or anything like that. So the one that David created was already, you had the box already made. So and this guy used a different style plug and stuff like that in the video. So
Vic's not bad. In the chat, he said, not to be pedantic, but which Xbox power supply? The 360 one.
Yeah.
SR71 taken off.
Yeah. Well, so that's the other thing. I don't know which one he ended up using. Let me see if I'm not sure. I'm sure if in the video this one has a comments. Let's see. Okay, so Xbox One power supply. Here is the
Xbone.
Yep, Xbox One power supply. So I'm going to put a link. Let's see if it'll grab this. I don't know if this is going to link correctly. It's going to look horrible. Let's see. Nope, it's not letting me paste it. So I will. We'll put the link in the video description with for all the for the enclosure, and actually even better, we'll just take the OpenPV link and post it here in chat, so you can get the parts there. It's pretty much the enclosure, the breakout board, a little component board that you use to put the tack switch on, the 510. This one has a custom 12mm Ultim fire button. I'm sure Anxie will love that one. An Xbox One power supply bought off of Amazon, and 1,000 microfarad capacitor. It looks like $25 for the Xbox One power supply. So, and that is a let's see what the. So it's for the Xbox One, not the Xbox One S. I didn't even know there was another one out. I just want to look at the specs here. Output, 220 watt, 12 volt, 17.9 amp, 5 volt, 1 amp. So there you go. That's a pretty hefty power supply.
Neat. When was the last time you saw something like fucking dope from OpenPV?
Yeah. I mean, there's some good stuff that he usually will post some new stuff in there. So
and there aren't that many old school guys left in the game, man.
Yeah,
he's relatively old school.
Yeah, and these mods are great for chilling on the disc. So you just have to obviously wire it correctly, because that plug isn't going to work. So
I forgot I have a desk that will accommodate my my wire harness that I thought up to put under a desk for the Mass Mod Mini for the power supply brick.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna mount like a little 2 hooks to just set it on top of, keep it in there relatively snug. Maybe Velcro it down.
True.
That was always the biggest challenge of setting that thing up, is where's the power supply brick gonna go?
Mm-hmm.
Now I can just Velcro it to the bottom of my desk.
For sure.
Yeah, and a lot of them have a lot of the desks now have the little cradles underneath to hold power supplies. So yeah. Okay, that's all I got.
So I had a couple pictures to go with the thing that I'm going to talk about tonight, and Cloud App is down, which is where I had the pictures stored. So I'm having to go back and find the damn pictures again.
There's a few outages going on that have been going on for about 2 hours. So
is that right?
Yeah. Well, just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I don't want anything on video of what I was going to say next. So,
well, here's a picture we can do. Here's a picture we can do. Oh, that'll be all right. So we'll use that one and this one, and it'll be good. So I'm gonna try to put the camera back on. Let me know if everything wigs out.
Yeah.
Click on myself real quick. So the Addy that I've got here, you may remember a couple of years ago, I had arguably the best tank performance I've ever had of any tank that I've ever tried. And it was the EVL or Evil Reaper. Now, it didn't have quite enough air for me, but I think part of that was also why it tasted so good, right? It was a pretty relatively restricted thing. It was like a 1.8 millimeter, I think. It was pretty restricted. It may have been 2.1 or something. But it was restricted, whatever it was. But a little while back, probably like the summer, they did put out a dripper. So John Haywood did put out a dripper, called it the Myth. And unlike his previous stuff, he's been going to stainless steel for a lot of his newer Addies. and that's and he did that for a few different reasons, one of which was cost savings. And he passed that along to the people too. So this new dripper here is what it looks like. It looks to me, and I'm going to go a little close. It looks to me, it's got a little bit of a Mulcaper kind of style on the outside, little wedding cake.
Yeah.
It is. What's with that polished dough? I don't like the finish on the top.
So
it looks like
fix those sideburns mattingly.
That is true. I should have started with this. That just like the old ones, it does come in a tin like this, and when you pop this off, there's actually like a.
Does it say surprise motherfucker?
It does not say surprise motherfucker when it goes off. There it is. So it literally, you pull it off like a pull tab,
Oh, nice.
Pull that off.
It's like, is there any peanuts in there?
Actually, well, that is the funny. So he also has continued this thing. So he does include a sticker and a bunch of spares and O-rings and stuff. But he always packs all his tins with shitloads of cotton. I mean, just that's the padding. Is he uses Muji? Just gobs and gobs. And it keeps going. That's only about half of it. He did send on this thing, which I can't touch because it's disgusting. And the drip tip that it came with, it was that too. So we won't touch that either. But yeah, no, legit. It's still full of cotton. it's full of cotton. It's functional, and more so than peanuts, right? You're asking about peanuts? No peanuts. Yep. It actually puts useful shit in there.
So actually, do you keep kosher by not touching Ultim? Like if an Ultim drip tip touched one of your atomizers, would you have to just throw it away?
I did have to scrub this one with. It did come with that on there, so I did have to scrub it with soap.
Oh no! So yeah. If you were keeping like actual kosher, you would have had to throw the atomizer out.
Throw the whole thing out. Yeah. No, I'm not that silly. So John did send this over to me just as a thank you for helping him previously, and I do appreciate it, John. So thank you very much, and giving me the opportunity to check this thing out. I'm going to show you what the top cap looks like because it is pretty interesting. They do come standard polished like this, but you can get the Ultimate one. This tiny little top cap, what it looks like inside. That's the chamber, right? So that little cutout is where the coil sits, and the rest of it's all solid. So that chamber is mega tiny. It is really tiny in there.
Probably good,
it's like half
flavor.
The size of the Narca.
Yeah. And the Narca's not big, but definitely so. So I'm going to share you a picture of our friend, Mr. Todd, Mr. Mark Todd. He posted a picture of the deck, so I can show you kind of what it looks like. It is an unusual deck. I will tell you that right now. So the positive post is here in the dead center. Got a little flathead screw on it, and it clamps in your wire. And then the negatives here on the body on the outside. So that does mean you got to do a little wire bending to get your thing set up. But you can see down here at the bottom, your airflow comes in and then goes immediately up, right? So, and that's it. That's it. That's the only air you have. Now he does have another variant that has I think it's a 1.8 max. So if you wanted it even more restricted, but as it is right now, this son of a bitch is restricted, man. It is certainly restricted, but
is it like tight butthole? Because I just said if he's using 24 gauge, it can't be that tight.
It is quite tight. I will say that is quite tight.
Like I'm saying, like tight being, let's just say the rose or K-Fun light is tight. You know?
Yeah. And this is just over a fully open rose. I think the fully open rose is 2 millimeter, if I recall. Do I remember that right?
What was that? I thought it was 2.5, but
was it 2.5?
I want to say it was 2.5.
That is possible. That is possible. I do not recall. But let me give you a spec sheet on it too. Application window here. So here's a post that he made a while back about some stuff. A single thing, heavily reduced chamber for maximum flavor. It's true, and it's filled through in 6 stainless. Peak, 2.5 millimeter maximum airflow. So it is, and you can dial it down too from that, right? So it's big, pretty tight. It may not be a Dong Magnum tight, but it's pretty tight. It's also really small. Obviously, you can see it's 22 millimeter diameter, but it's 17 millimeter in height. Massive juice well because your coil is kind of up and off the deck a little bit, right? So the rest of it is all.
Could you run a vertical in it?
Well, you can't really because when the air comes from below it, right? So if you put a vertical in it, then it would hit the wick.
It's true.
From underneath it. So it was something that I did get. Oh, I haven't finished this out. So the standard myth is 69 pounds. And it comes with spares and a tin and all the cotton that you saw. Bless you. And it's going.
He's just as my furnace kicked on.
Yeah. And it does come with a whole other post. If you replace the center post, it can be a non-squonky thing. But you can get a deluxe that's got extra shit in it. That's how you roll. And then you can buy the ultimate top cap separately for 25 Great British pounds, if I can speak.
BGB.
So that's it. I did get it at the end of last week. But I was not able to build it this weekend. I just built it today. It is going to take a little bit of practice, I think, to get it a little tighter or a little exactly where I want it. Oh, and I did test the Rams shortage protection because I pulsed it or whatever, and I got it, and I dropped that top cap on there with that tiny ass little reduced thing, and my outside coil was just a little too high. And it hit the top cap, and I went to go fire it. It goes blink, 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 blink. I was like, "Oh, thank you for not killing me." So there you go. No, Josh, I'm not going to show you with the ultimate top cap on because I don't want to have to watch it.
Tricky.
Yeah. So that I'm not going to disagree with you. The deck was not the easiest build that I've had to do, but I can say it is possible. And there is a review by our good friend Mr. Todd. If you wanted to see how he does it. Now you can ignore when he builds it. You can see where he's putting the coil and even like how he's bending the legs. He's real good about that. Please ignore any of the dog hair that you see on his builds because it's just
some people think vaping dog hair is good for you.
We love you, Todd. But yeah, you're right. I think this is what I think, and this is just an impression from a few hours. I think what this needs is a regulated squonker. That's just my impression so far, and the reason is with an unregulated mod, you kind of need to be able to put in a particular build that you really like, right? And the build that I have in here is one of the ones that I like on unregulated, and it is working, by the way, really well. The flavor is fantastic, but it wasn't the easiest to put that in. So I think one of my regulated builds probably would have been easier to mount, and then you can adjust the wattage and stuff however you like it. I feel like that's the case with this guy. So far that's my initial impressions. The build was not the easiest, but the flavor is so far really good, and I'm glad to have been able to check it out so far. So I'll be vaping it this week.
True.
Addy, you are right. I believe Todd posted that he is coming to Vegas.
You can confirm that rumor, boyo.
I really wish I was in Vegas. I'm gonna miss seeing him.
When's he gonna be there?
I think it's this weekend.
Yeah.
What show
is it
happening?
Expo that's happening out there?
I think it's one of the Paris shows that came over.
Oh, yeah.
Vape Expo or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's what we got going on. That is true. I didn't mention that yet. It feels like it's a little noisy, but it's not terrible. Like
does that air hole is it elbowed up, or does it just hit a wall and then go up?
It's really small and hard to see in there. I was wondering the same thing, is if they just went in this way and then went in this way. It does feel a little turbulent.
Yeah.
I have to take a drag on it, but it's not it's not obnoxiously noisy or anything. When I was hosting earlier, the camera switches even to myself, right? If you're doing the host, you come up on the screen too, and when you're talking. And Masty was talking, and then he had like a pause or whatever, and I took a drag, and this camera didn't switch to me. So I don't think it's not terribly noisy. So yeah.
Let me hit my Narda right, and I'll come up.
What was that?
Oh, he's hitting his Narda.
I'm saying, let me hit my Narda right, and I'll come up.
Hey, Ahmed, I got something for you. So when you go ride on the train, look at that beer can koozie. Boy,
what kind of a degenerate commuter do you think I am?
That's awesome. Beats paper bag, bro.
Well, the thing is,
look, you could be having your Starbucks in the morning. You could be just hitting back cold one, like Cold Stone.
The thing is, I don't drink on the subway because like drinking on the subway is generally frowned upon versus the Long Island Railroad, which is what I take. If I don't want to.
But you're drinking your coffee. I think it's pretty awesome, and it collapses too. It's
but the
like
thing is,
it collapses.
Yeah, it collapses, dude. It's awesome.
That's cool.
Here's why I don't
collapses down. I had the GIF. I just can't. I wasn't able to get it quick enough.
The problem is if I were to take the subway home, right, from back to Queens and then hop on the bus. The problem is I've run into a relatively high probability of there being a very crowded subway, and I'd have to stand. Do I look like I want to be drinking while standing on the subway? No, I want to be sitting. I want to have hopefully get a nice seat on the rail and fold my leg. Have Reddit open on the phone and drink. That's usually the ideal setting. I don't want to do this and the subway like stops or something, or like hits a bump and then like I spill some beer. Nah, I ain't about that. Or I can sit there like a fucking degenerate on the subway with my Juul, just like the kids are great. They do I describe it as no, I'm not holding a marijuana cigarette in my hand. I'm going to hold it like I'm trying to hide something. They do that with their Juul.
Let's see if this works, Angsty. Yeah, it does. Look at that.
That's neat.
It is.
If I was in college, like going to class and shit, I may consider that.
That is perfect.
We did
have your coffee and drink it too.
We took like Pepsi cans and poured boxed wine into them, like empty cans, and then we'd go to class with it because we were, doing wine in a can.
Note, not for hot beverages.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That plastic is for disguise only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or you're right. If you're on public transport, you do not touch your face or anything, and then you wash your hands afterwards.
Ah, that's cool. So the lid features same dimensions as the standard coffee cup lid. So it fits almost all medium to large paper coffee cups. Silicone gasket seals to the top of the can to ensure no leaks. 6 sets of snaps hold your can in tight. ergonomically designed spout and rim, secondary breather hole to improve flow, baby.
Yeah, because
flow
on the rail, there's no you could drink on it most of the week, which is like an open can of beer. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, and the cup says the features are it works perfectly with the tinkering lid, works as a cup on its own and holds a full pint. The size is 6-inch fully extended and collapses down to 1.5 inch. Weighs only 2.3 ounces, making it perfect for camping or on the go. Gotta love it. Innovation, people. Find something people need and make it.
Or if you want to be inconspicuous about your alcoholism, you know.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah. So there you go. Oh, they got all kinds of stuff. This company's got all kinds of stuff. They got a beer mat.
I mean, if I have one more night of being degenerate in me, I'll definitely employ one of these for the subway ride.
They got plastic wine bottles. Like you just hook up to your keychain.
I mean,
they're plastic flasks.
Once upon a time, for a friend's birthday in college, we did a borough tour where we had to have a drink at a bar in every borough of New York City.
Yeah.
The other rule of the game was we had to be drinking on the subway from point A to point B. And in this case, we're taking the Staten Island Ferry. We had to be drinking the Staten Island Ferry. We had 2 Heineken kegs that we for the subway rides. We killed both of those, and a couple of us may have been doing a keg stand with the Heineken mini keg on Subway.
This is literally a yoga mat that holds 6 beers. The same company.
Honestly, you don't need to design one specifically for that. Just like stuff a pair of socks at the bottom of the roll, and then you can pack cans of beer on top of it.
That's ridiculous.
I think that kind of defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it?
I mean, I guess. So there you go. They even have a collapsible wine bottle flask with collapsible silicone glasses. Man, these guys are on it. The name of the company is Trenken.
What do they call it? I like complaining about parenting starter pack.
Yeah.
It's just like, I mean, what do you do? Like, you could use that to drink at your kid's soccer game. I mean, I'd probably want to drink at my kid's soccer game too. It's probably fun.
There you go. Okay.
Fucking
Ahmed, did you have a nice piece of news?
Yeah, we're jumping the crucifixions this week. We're gonna go to crucifixions. You direct your attention here. No, I cannot restream that. That is Monday Night Football. That. You direct your attention here. Yeah, so
that
Element Vape. Got a letter in the mail today from Element Vape indicating they had a data breach. According to the letter, on September 20th, 2018, what they discovered was a malicious code created a window of intrusion between December 6, 2017 and June 27, 2018, wherein personal information of our customers may have been accessed. Boom. December 26th, June 27th. That's a lot of fucking time in between. That's like a year and like 6-7 months. Almost 8.
Rip.
Here's my favorite part. They're offering a free 1-year subscription to LifeLock Defender to monitor for credit and identity theft.
Yeah, that's pretty standard.
Yeah, it is, but it's also good to see, and maybe this is low expectations because of vaping, but it's good to see them admitting that publicly and then also doing something about it.
Yeah, let's just say I wouldn't be worrying about no American customers, because if you had anybody overseas, that GDPR is going to rape you with fines. So good luck with that, folks.
I don't think I ordered anything from them in that time. I probably did not.
Once again, privacy.com. Use it. All of this could have been gibberish information that they could have gotten.
So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because Element Vape by all
that window, good lord, man.
And that's a long fucking window, man. This wasn't like a week or something. This was like almost 2 years where their shit was exposed.
Well, that was just like a few days ago. Oh, I still have the beer koozies up. My bad. That was like a few days ago. Someone was talking about, you know, how the company like 15 years ago was breached, and they were just now telling you about it.
It's like, hey, so you know how like you may have had some issues like getting a job, and then you know, maybe that may have been.
That's like someone saying, oh, you know, your MySpace information and password were hacked, which they were at one point, and we're just now telling you about it. What? You're like, what? I don't even remember what my username was. So.
Yep, and also this also goes to the to only further reinforce the point. Not only of Ms. Massey, right, about the payment information and using generated cards and stuff, but also you change your passwords, people. Use a different with every site if you can. If you don't want to buy something like 1Password, which in my opinion is the nicest one out there. I mean, there's KeyPass. It's free. At least you know. At least give it a shot. At least try.
Yep. And also on the flip side of that, when you're a company, you better have your ducks in a row when it comes to that, because they don't play, man. You know, there is cybersecurity insurance and all that, but the insurance companies come in, it's going to say, so can you show us what you did to prevent this? you know,
I'd said everyone should just, you know, be responsible and protect their net. What was it, Vapor Shark that had their shit hacked? The last like big one.
Yeah, Vapor Shark had an actual like live going on where they were just pulling credit card numbers. And
we had like there was a Reddit user who was like, yeah, I thought this Vapor Shark shit was resolved. My shit got compromised. I bought a mod from the site.
Yep, and you know, don't just think because somebody's a gigantic retailer that it's not going to happen. You know, you have to protect yourself when you're doing stuff online. Newegg had people in their cart, you know, where they're able to see all that. I mean, so, you know, it's going to happen. It's not a matter of, you know, if and when. It's going to happen. So, but, and especially, you know, the vape sites and you know, sites like that have always been prime targets, you know, for that. So.
Remember, we always joke about how many people I've met that work in tech. So they've been in vaping, but holy shit, terrible website security.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them were, you know, just turnkey. You know, hey, cousin Billy Bob built this for you.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I'm laughing, but you're not wrong. I mean, and it really can happen to anybody, especially if you've got out-of-date software and stuff. I had one of the things that I host personally I got an email just out of the blue in an old forum that I had. They were still running on one of my sites that I had running for for a couple of guys to keep in touch. And all of a sudden I got an email from my host saying, "Hey, why is there a Bank of America spoof account on your host?" Like there was just this random subdirectory that they were able to write to and put a what appeared to be, you know, a Bank of America login thing. And I'm like, holy shit! I delete it right now. You know, I like dumped it, I updated software and stuff. And that was somebody like me who tends to keep track of that kind of thing.
Yep.
You know, WordPress, any of that shit can.
One plugin is all it takes.
Yep.
And it's bye. Night. So, yeah, boy. That's all you got, Ahmed?
Yeah. Sorry, I decided to look for my Amazon email with my tracking in it. I just remembered that my shit shipped today. I don't see the email. God damn
it. So, Anxie, how'd you guys do for Halloween? You fared out pretty good?
Yeah, I had a bunch of kids come by for candy, and I typically hang around and hand that out just to make sure there's no miscreants, you know, too bad. And there really isn't very much, whatever. But one kid asked what I was dressed up as, and I just had my normal flat hat on and a pair of jeans and my Plumes hoodie on with our faces like in the square, on the front. And and one of his friends looked at him and he's like, he's dressed up like a rock star. I was like, all right, sure, a rock star.
Hey, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever works.
Good enough. It did remind me of one time I was riding. I was on a long ride with a few friends down to South Texas, just as a long putt, like a weekend kind of getaway kind of thing with just some guys. And when I ride, I typically have a bandana on my head because I don't have any hair. So for protection, sweat absorption under a helmet and that kind of thing, right? So I had my bandana on. Yeah. Of course, I got my earrings on, and we went into a Whataburger, and we were having lunch, and I was coming out of the bathroom before I ordered. I was coming out of the bathroom, and this little kid who could have been more than, I don't know, 3, 4, was walking there with his mom to go to the bathroom, and he like froze, got these really big eyes and looked at me, and then looked at his mom and goes, "Mommy, it's a pirate! That's awesome!" That was the highlight of my day that day. I was a pirate.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, I wanted to show, because I saw this one posted on Reddit, and I thought there's been some pretty awesome costumes. Like there's a guy who posted a video of a Hulkbuster in full suit that was walking down the street.
Yeah, I saw that. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. But this one cracks me up. All right, here we go. The title is "I Am Wheel." How awesome is that? It's a freaking wheel.
Like a good wheel.
Yeah.
Like he's not a low effort wheel.
He's got that pat down. Like I would totally vote for that in a costume contest. Because
did he punch out the sidewall to simulate a real tire?
That's awesome. Can you punch out the sidewalls? Yeah. White sidewalls in, please. And there you go. Yeah, we gave out probably, I don't know, 15 pounds of candy. We had like 8 bags, and
you some of the trick-or-treaters over? Because 2 years in a row, none here, none. 2 years in a row.
Yeah, well, we get people that, we'll get some friends that'll come over here because, their neighborhoods are out in the middle of the boonies and nobody goes out, so they just.
I'm the only trick-or-treater in my house this year.
Trick or treat. So. But yeah, we get a crazy turnout. All right.
Well,
that's all I got.
That's all I got too. I'm about ready to call it. No. Angsty, why are you muted? Why are you muted?
I keep muting myself to make sure nothing's gonna fucking log out or lag out again.
Oh, Vic, yeah, 2 years. I mean, 2 years in your new house, but I've been here for a while, and it's just been like a steady decline. It went from I had too much candy, not enough trick-or-treaters, too. Am I going to buy candy this year? And I decided to buy some last year. No trick-or-treaters. We ended up eating that all ourselves. Same thing this year. So, oh, wow. I had actual spider webs on my bushes and shit. Like, my house was naturally spooked out.
Like real spider webs.
Like real fucking spider webs. Like, I thought about taking them down, but I'm like, nah. No, we gotta keep it legit spooky. I think my house was too spooky. So
Too spooky.
Thank you all for tuning in this week.
Yeah,
as always. Next week we'll have the crucifixions, unless another fucking company gets breached. They tell us. But yeah, protect your shit. I'm Fubaka, and that's the news. But anyway, see y'all next week.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace. Wu-Tang.